back to the Ferris Sports Update. Joined now by head coach of Ferris State Volleyball, Tia Brandel-Wilhelm. Run to the Sweet 16, a really incredible season. First of all, congratulations on a season well played. I know kind of a tough day here today, but what a great year to reflect on.
Yeah, it was a great season. You know, I think this was a really special group. We'd been through a lot of adversity just getting together as a team, just forming and getting this, the season started off. And I felt like, adversity always makes you stronger if you handle it well. And I thought this team, handled things as they happened really well. But it just never really let up. I mean, I felt like every week there was something that was coming up that we had to kind of handle and work through, and was a distraction from doing our best on the court. But like my assistant said, Hannah said at the end of the night, that you take that with you the rest of your life, and you can handle a lot of things and still do really well.
You mentioned this in the post-game interview about there's a point in the season when you were under 500, which for me, I think that might be the only time ever that since I've been here that you've been under 500 at any point. And then you reeled off 22 straight wins to get to the Sweet 16. I mean, just the way your team responded to that situation, I mean, that says a lot about a group that's got a lot of young players playing a lot.
Yeah, I think that we had, we knew the beginning of the season was going to be tough because we didn't have the experience, we didn't quite have the depth that we wanted at every position, and we knew that, and we had a tough schedule. I mean, we scheduled pretty hard at the beginning of the year, which in the end was really great for us because our strength of schedule was really high, the highest in the region. So we played a lot of really good teams. So we knew the beginning would be kind of hard, and we kind of had that mentality of let's just survive through September and then work, just keep continuing to work to get better. But I think it's a lot easier to say that before you are 500 and you're actually going through that when you're not really, not playing and you feel like you've lost a couple games that maybe you shouldn't have. But I love how our team responded. We just committed to, we're going to get better every day and we're not going to look past this day. And obviously that paid off for us.
To take a look back at the matches, we open up with Rockhurst, and it's funny, I came away from this match thinking it was like a carbon copy of the Rockhurst teams that we've seen the last several years in the NCAA tournament. This is a tough match in the first round for you guys, but again, you battled through adversity to find a way to win it. Yeah,
I think that, that was our first time. We hadn't even gotten to practice in the lineup that we ended up playing the NCAA tournament in. So it was our first time playing in that lineup. I think, sometimes that just makes things a little bit less flow on the court. And I thought it was really good that we got a chance to play 5, and obviously that we wanted just because we needed the reps in the lineup. I mean, we just, we had a couple people in new spots, and, the whole front line right there in that highlight is all freshmen. So, you just have to kind of figure your way through some of that stuff.
You mentioned all the freshmen on the front line there. I mean, the mileage you got out of freshmen playing really big points and sets in this NCAA tournament, how valuable is that for the program just going forward?
I think freshmen, and then, we had some, like the COVID freshmen that, they have a year under their belt a little bit, but not really the year. I mean, they'll understand next year how much you get out of that, having a normal season and that spring season when you just get so much better. But I thought we did really well, and I credit a lot of that to the upperclassmen that we did have. We had 2 COVID seniors, those 5th-year seniors, in Nina and Katie, and those two, their leadership throughout the year was consistent and on point, and they continually worked to be better themselves while they really helped their teammates be better.
Let's talk a little bit more about those seniors who led this very young team, and you talked about it. There was you would have liked to have more experience at a lot of positions going into this season, but the way they handled it, I mean, just to get this team going match by match to where you got, how important are they in terms of your program?
Yeah, I think that we spent some time last spring after our that kind of weird spring season was over. We spent some time as a team, and we got a little bit more clarity on who we wanted to be as a team. And that really helped our upperclassmen to lead and to kind of push the team the right way. And I got to give a huge shout out to our freshmen too, because some of them played, some of them didn't, but man, the energy they brought to the gym every single day was phenomenal. And they worked to get better whether they were going to be out on the court or not. And, that made us so much better as a team.
The teachable moments here as we get ready to take a look at a little bit of the Hillsdale match. Just at the end of the match, one of the things you mentioned was about how everything that your kids do in this program they can take with them into life. I mean, that's a tough conversation to have after this match, but just a really positive outlook. And I mean, they're great kids. What else can you say about this group?
Yeah, they are, and they're willing to learn and get better. You know, I think that says a lot. And of course, you know, you lose a match like this where you don't feel like you played quite your best game, and that's disappointing for sure, and tough to handle. But at the same time, you know, you give credit to Hillsdale. They had a lot of kids back and they have a lot of kids that, you know, have played quite a few years as starters for, you know, 3 and 4 years. So, you know, in that moment, they really upped their game a lot, and you got to give out that credit to them. And they're a good team, and they have a really good shot in the Elite Eight. I think for us, you know, it's hard when you're disappointed in how you played, but at the same time, you know, this is so much more than just a game, you know. And I think for our athletes right now, with you know, the uncertainty and the hiccups that we've had over the last 2 years as athletics or as athletes, I think to know that they can just come to this place every day and work to get a little bit better has been, you know, good for all of us for sure.
You know, we've gone through a couple of years, about 18 months now of this COVID thing, maybe 20 months now. I can't do the math off the top of my head, but to have a weekend like this with 14 home events in 3 days, to have been a part of that as a member of this staff, just to go through it, and I know you want to be going further this week, but how special of a weekend was it in Big Rapids? I
mean, it was really cool that we got to host. I feel like it was just a good recognition of, you know, what the players had done throughout the season, and you know, we're certainly really glad that we're able to. Super impressed with our athletic department. I mean, we just have a staff of people that, you know, are so committed to Bulldogs and so committed to, you know, they'll just do whatever it takes to make sure that things work. And I thought, you know, our staff did a really good job hosting, and it was a really nice event, definitely a championship level event for all 8 teams that were here.
Final one from me, as you go forward, I know back to recruiting and then soon spring volleyball. What do the next few weeks for you and your team look like?
Definitely back into the recruiting, kind of some closure time with the current team. You know, you kind of do those things, and, you know, you just try to set a little bit of a stage for, you know, for the year to come, because the 22 season starts today. So we're, you know, doing the things that we need to do to kind of set that stage. I think that there's a moment when the season ends that we're all pretty ripe, and even though our scars are pretty fresh, there's also that opportunity to do, you know, kind of set the pace in a good direction. So I think that's a lot of what we do right now.
Coach, congratulations, 27-5, a run to the Sweet 16 this season. Really well done.
Thank you.
That'll wrap it up for another episode of the Ferris Sports Update. Reminder for all Ferris State Bulldog athletic information, visit ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Until next semester, I'm Harrison Watt. Thank you for joining us.